Thank you, Jazzy. Next email's from Muse Guy. Hi guys, I heard you guys talk about gold efficiency on the podcast, but I don't really understand what it means or how it is figured out. If you could explain this for me, I would greatly appreciate it. You're welcome for the short email. Thank you, Muse Guy. So I guess we can if you want a like hard example to look at in front of you, you should probably Google it. But the best example or the best like description of it is every stat in the game has a gold value per unit, and that is determined by taking the lowest lowest item that offers that lowest component. So for attack damage, that would be a longsword. You take the amount of units of stat, so 10 AD, and then 350 gold is the cost. So that's the gold value of 10 AD. So then you find the gold value of 1 AD, which would be 35 gold per AD. And then you can determine, is it like for, I don't know, a BF sword, which is what, 40 attack damage and 1300 gold?
Yep.
It would be gold. BF sword is what, more than 100% gold efficient because it is less than 4 long swords. It's 4 long swords worth of stats, but less than 4 long swords worth of gold. So that's kind of just the best way to evaluate or to describe gold efficiency.
Yep.
Is it's how much of the stat of the smallest component for how much of the gold.
I do
having a higher gold efficiency is better than having a lower one. Sorry.
I do really quickly want to jump in here, though, because I do think we disingenuously talk about gold efficiency, not on purpose, but because it is a flawed thing. We don't actually have the Riot's internal data for gold efficiency. In theory, Riot probably has values for what they consider every item to be, like, stat-wise. And our version of gold efficiency is only based on what we're given. Like, we're taking the core item and then dividing it by its gold cost and its stat value, right? This leads to problems with items like lethality, where the core lethality item is Serrated Dirk. You know what Serrated Dirk's stats are? It's 30 attack damage and 10 lethality. Right? So we already know what attack damage is, so we have to apply that. So 30 attack damage, that's sorry, I'm doing quick math. That's 1,050 gold worth of stats with what we've learned from AD, right? Meaning that means the 10 lethality is worth 50 gold. So lethality is 5 gold a lethality, Nick. And that's not true. That's not true, right?
Yeah.
Riot has come out and stated that their internal values for lethality are closer to like 50 gold per lethality, right? Mm-hmm. So that's just a conversion that's like completely borked. But because Serrated Dirk is our most core lethality item, it fucks up the whole lethality equation. So in theory, every item that has lethality is probably undervalued by the LoL wiki measure of gold efficiency, right?
Yeah, true.
So like there's things like that. And then obviously like items like ability haste is like super whack because like every ability has different like strengths. Like the strength of Shen pulling his Q, right? The ability haste on that ability versus a fucking Blitzcrank hook, right? Those ability haste has different gold values to those characters. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So like there's tons of like wacky shit with gold efficiency. It's more just a starting point for conversation, right? When we look at Hullbreaker, we go, holy fuck, this item has a ton of actives on it, like it does a ton of shit. And stat-wise, it's already gold efficient before we even start looking at its effects, right? Mm-hmm. That's why if you look at any tank items typically have very strong actives, but they're all gold inefficient, right? They're usually like 80% gold efficient, but it's something like Randuin's where you're fucking slowing attacks, you're shooting out like a big AoE slow around you, you're doing tons of cool shit like that, right? And that's what makes the item efficient to build, right? You're not building Randuin's because it gives you shitty amounts of armor and shitty amounts of health. You're building it because it has a sick active. So it's once again, it's just more a conversation starter. Don't use gold efficiency as a like be all end all by any means. It's just a place to start going like, hey, this item is pretty fucking good. Like a great example is Dark Seal. Dark Seal, let me pull this up really quick. Dark Seal is the item I fucking jerk off all the time because I've started building it on Tom Kench. Dark Seal is a item that gives 15 ability power, 40 health, meaning it is 123% gold efficient for a 350 gold item at level, for 350 gold, right? And it gets 30% more gold efficient per stack. Meaning building
Wow,
just a Dark Seal
Jesus.
is gold efficient, and then every stack you get on it makes it bonkers gold efficient. Dark Seal is an item that every single fucking jungler in the game who has AP ratios should just sit on if they're ahead. If you're an Udyr and you get a kill early, spend that gold on a Dark Seal. You have a gold efficient item that can stack up to being 400% gold efficient. And yeah, Udyr doesn't have a ton of AP ratios, but his shield has an AP ratio. His Phoenix farm has an AP ratio. He has pretty good AP scaling. Like it's so crazy. So like that's where like you kind of like go, oh, this item's gold efficient, and it probably shouldn't be. And then you go, oh, that item's probably strong. I should start building it on these characters. That's like where the conversation begins.
Yeah, yeah. So that's the best analysis of gold efficiency. It's not as quite as clear cut as I put it, for sure. But it's just analyzing an item based on the stats it gives through the lens of gold.